guest here on BT Bloggers Week. Grew up in a small house in an oil town with a mother who read horror novels and a father who cut the grass with his shirt off. So I read at toddbabiak.com. Welcome. This is all true?
This is all true. My dad actually wore dress socks with dress shoes while cutting the lawn.
Really?
With a beer in his one arm. He only had one arm. So he'd sort of push it with his belly.
No.
Absolutely true.
Todd Babiak is an author and writes captivating stories. Sometimes I don't know what's true and what's not. I'm a big fan. We're thrilled to have you here, Todd. A lot of Edmontonians are going to recognize you, of course, as a longtime columnist at the Edmonton Journal. You're well known as a celebrated novelist here in town. But when it comes to blogs, which is our focus this week, how does a blog, or what you do on your blog, differ from other writing that you've done through the years?
Well, the toddbabiak.com blog is pretty whimsical, and I'm preparing to have a novel come out in September, so I'm just really starting to have some fun with that one. That's for a general audience, mostly outside of Edmonton, actually. And then the other blog we can talk about, magpietown.com, is very specifically about Edmonton. It's about a year of research I did and movement that's been sparked in the city, thanks to the mayor.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about your upcoming book project, Come Barbarians, the name of the new book, and that, of course, you can read more about it at toddbabiak.com. But we do want to focus on the Magpie Town blog a little bit more today, because as you just alluded to, it was a blog, a forum that spawned a big idea, and you're seeing Edmontonians rally behind this Make Something Edmonton initiative. How did this all come about?
Well, Edmonton doesn't really have a story. When someone says, why do you live in Edmonton? I think we've all historically struggled with that. And so we tried to look at what a story is versus, say, a vision, which is sort of the end of the story, the happy ending. So I just interviewed 112 people and asked them why they choose to live here or why they've chosen to stay. And after they got past the River Valley and big words like sustainable and innovative, they always came down to one theme. They were most proud of these things that have been built in Edmonton by a few people that launched into something grand, like whether it's the Fringe Festival or Stantec or PCL or Yardstick Software. There's always something, a little idea that came to reality because of some strange spirit in this place. Other cities are really quite interested in glamour and having world-class art and culture and bringing that down upon themselves. Edmontonians, we distrust that. We like things that come from here, that grow from here. So if that's the truth about us, and it always has been, how can we actually inspire a different kind of conversation? Let's talk about that as past, present, and in the future. Let's inspire you, Ryan, to make something Edmonton. If there's a corner of the city you can improve in some way, to make something beautiful here, or something profitable, something true, something fascinating, just go do it. And so we've provided a forum for that. Really, the blog started, people started talking about it, and when the mayor asked Chris Labossiere and Amy Shostak to head up a volunteer task force, they said, well, make something Edmonton's already happening. Let's just use that for our image and reputation campaign.
Amy Shostak will be joining us a little bit later on this morning. In a bit of a different vein here, we want to get to know you as the blogger as well, and what makes you tick. And through the morning, we'll have some more insight here. We can take your questions. You can tweet us at Babiak, at BT Edmonton, at Ryan Jesperson. A lot of people might look at what you've done career-wise and kind of look at it as almost a reverse formula of what some people might try to do. In other words, I'm going to start writing with a blog. I'm going to get exposure. I'll gain a following. And then ultimately one day, maybe I'll get a newspaper column or even be able to publish my own novel. Blogging, though, it's not just the starting step. It's not just a platform to launch, is it? It seems that blogging these days, there's almost an expectation. People use their blogs as a way to add more information or to provide a different idea of what they write about. It's just a different method of communicating, isn't it?
Well, it's an invitation, and I think it's a conversation. And I think we used to think about journalism from on high. So someone would be sitting in an office tower telling Edmontonians what they are, or New Yorkers, or whoever it might be. Whereas a blog we're pretty flat. Anyone can have a blog. It takes 5 seconds to set up a blog. And immediately, maybe, you start a conversation. And you're just the same as everyone else. And that's the same thing with Twitter and Facebook and everything else. So I like that there's a flattening effect to a blog. And you really can invite people in rather than tell them what you think.
Exactly. Okay. This morning is going to be an ongoing conversation. Todd is live blogging. You can check it out at magpietown.com. It's day one of BT Bloggers. We'll be back from here in studio in just a bit. News, traffic, and weather coming up right after this break.